On March 25th at about 6 a.m., there was an incident in front of the courthouse, which is right next door to the police department. Initially, we had a white male walk into the front lobby of the police department, and he appeared to have stab wounds. He was bleeding, so he was transported to Delray Medical Center. Our officers and our detectives conducted an investigation, and what they found was not what we initially expected. What occurred was the victim, initially we thought was the victim, which was Irwin Goldberg. He was the person that came into the lobby. His rendition of the story was that a female had gotten into the vehicle and had stabbed him. What we later found out to be true was that Mr. Goldberg was in the area to pick up a prostitute. He picked someone up, she entered the vehicle, they had a disagreement of sorts, and when he attempted to get her out of the vehicle, he used a 17-inch aluminum fish bat, which looks something like this, to beat her with. While he was in the process of beating her, she took a sharp object and stabbed him in the chest for self-defense reasons. During this incident, she was pushed into the driver's side of the vehicle a little bit, so she used the opportunity to drive away with the vehicle because of the confrontation that was going on was violent. At that point was when Mr. Goldberg walked over to the police department, and where he got medical attention from the fire department and later at Delray Medical Center. When the detectives were doing some research, they found that on November 12, 2013, Mr. Goldberg had another incident that occurred in the city. Initially, that was reported as a robbery. Mr. Goldberg reported that two black males had robbed him and beat him, and he suffered very serious injuries as a result of that. What later was found out was Mr. Goldberg was in the area to pick up a prostitute. Once he picked up two females, they entered his vehicle. He was directed to a second address, and while he was at that second address, he was severely beaten. He did not cause any injuries to the females that he picked up in that incident. So in a sense, he was a victim, but he was in the area to pick up a prostitute. It just didn't go the way that he had planned.
Nicole, can you say how you guys figured out that he was not the victim but the perpetrator?
His story was not consistent with the evidence where hers was. After they spoke with her and she gave her rendition of what occurred, they spoke with him, they interviewed him, and when they let him know what they knew, his story changed each time.
How often do you see a 77-year-old man roaming for prostitutes and then get physical? It's kind of different.
It is different. It's definitely something that we haven't seen in a while. I can't say we've never seen it before, but it's definitely something we haven't seen in a while.